Nah.
No. Are you?
I got a degree.
In what? Killing birds?
Oh, funny. Nah. I got a degree in criminology, thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah, 2-1.
Not just a pretty face, full of surprises, me.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. We're talking to you guys about Cam and Emily and about their particular blossoming relationship that seemingly happened on the show. I really do like this show because, like I said, it brings out different aspects of relationships and relationship building, and we can learn a lot of things from the initial dating stages of these people, even if they do move a little bit mad. But what I want to focus on with Cam and Emily is the fact that, again, I see with Emily and Cam, I actually like their energy. I really do like their interactions that they have. It's funny, it's light, it's fun. But and I'm sure, and maybe, and hopefully, as we go along, we'll see Cam become more confident with Emily, because what I saw right now was more Emily kind of slightly leading the proceedings. First of all, she let him know that she is 26 and she likes to go for younger guys. Number two, she ended up saying to him, about would you get a kiss out of me? And then over number three, she also talked about as well, coming onto the bed as well. So there's three different instances where I saw her kind of leading the charge, and also not only that, he has let us know, which I knew he was going to be, because he's a smart, sexy nerd who has glowed up from where he was to now, and the mindset doesn't necessarily shift. And so I knew he was going to say that, you know what, he's the kind of person that focuses on one person. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a person that focuses on one person. I can't do this whole dating a field of people. No, I can only focus on one person. That's how my energy rolls, right? And so long as you know that, you're aware of that, you can be aware in the way that you're playing the game. So anyway, listen, before we go any further, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of what uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. We're about to bring you some reviews on the show Too Hot to Handle. All right, let's get into this video. Listen, stay hydrated. Okay, grab your bottles as well. The streets are hot, okay? They're hot, okay? Grab your bottles and drink water. All right, let's get into the video. So, the very first thing I want to show you guys about Cam and Emily, first of all, is actually Emily, okay? Now, I want you to hear what she says about herself, because I think this is very important, because one of the things that's really interesting is when people talk about themselves, how they describe themselves lets us know a little insight into them. And she describes herself as somebody who doesn't chase guys. God just kind of drops them into her path, and she kind of goes from there. But then she said something which is really interesting after that. She said, she doesn't think she's coming on the show to be settling down. And I don't know if she's capping, because I say she's capping because the way she interacted with Cam, it seems a bit lovey-dovey, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then again, I can be fooled, because once the no sex ban comes in, then we know all things can change in an instant, baby. Okay, let's play a little bit of clip and then we'll talk a bit more, right?
I don't go out ever looking for guys. It's like God just drops them. I'd love to sit here and tell you that I'm ready for commitment, I want to settle down, but I'd be lying.
Okay, so she let us two things there. She said God drops guys in her path, and if I'm ready to settle down, I'll be lying to you. So we already know that if that's the case, if that's the truth, Cam is in for a rude awakening. Why do I say that? Because he is feeling her from the jump. Okay, he's feeling her from the jump, and I'll tell you why he's feeling her from the jump. Because even the guys, when they were sitting down, Marvin was talking about how Cam even felt about Emily already, right? And I'll go to that clip in a little second as well. But it's interesting how the way that he feels about her already. He's already making big quotes about how he likes her and everything like that, and I'm like, yo, dog, I need you to chill. It's just started. You don't know these girls from Adam, baby. Okay, you need to slow down. Let's play a little clip of the guys talking a little bit about this situation. I want to kind of bring this in. Let's see where we can go.
Emily is cool also?
Emily in Paris does have a nice ring to it.
He's gonna kick me.
He's telling you right now he's coming for you, man.
I back this situation. I've got it.
So they made a joke obviously about him coming for Emily, and the reason why he knows that Cam's going to kick him is because he already knows that Cam's already invested in Emily, and we see that both Emily and Cam end up kissing later on. So it's not like it's a one-way street, not at all. Okay, not at all. And that's what I like about Cam and Emily. I do like that about them, right? And I appreciate his confidence here because he backed himself. He said, listen, I back myself. Listen to this.
100%. So if you little hyenas want to come eat a bit of the lion's meat, at the moment, I've been getting a lot of glances from Emily, and she's been receiving them from me.
So he's feeling himself a little bit. He shows confidence to the men, saying, "Hey, look, I back myself." So he's not backing down from the challenge. I like that, and I hope that continues throughout the course of the show. Because let me tell you something now: if you don't have that confidence, these men are gonna eat you alive. Okay? Because certain men out here are dark lords. Okay? Marvin's probably one of them. Okay? And I'm scared that it's gonna come like Kelvin and old girl last season, where Kelvin was not even trying to press Francesca, was it? Listen, the names are just coming back to me suddenly. The Lord was just giving me some remembrance, and he didn't even press Francesca. And Francesca wanted to press him like ground coffee, blood. You understand? Like he wasn't even doing that too tough, right? And I'm scared for Cam if this will be a repeat situation, just because like black men on these shows, they do well. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The black men on these shows, seemingly from last season to this season, seem to do well when they're built, when they look like Mandingo. Let's keep it 100% real, right? Because what did the girls say about Marvin, right? Oh, he's so big, and then they were actually alluding to the fact that he had a big. Do you know what I'm saying? So we know there's a bit of fetishization there. We know there's a little bit of this stereotype there. You know what I'm saying? Depends how you look at it, if it's negative or not. Really up to you how you're going to perceive it. But we're not talking about Marvin. We're talking about Cam and talking about Emily. The next thing I wanted to show you guys, obviously, is Emily's response about her interaction with Cam. Like, she tells Cam something really interesting. She says that she is someone who goes after younger guys. Let's have a little look at this clip here.
Right now.
I seem to go for younger guys.
Yeah, right.
I'm a cougar.
Cougar here.
We got an extra.
Now, if you know anything, she says she likes to go for younger guys. She's a bit of a cougar. I think this might be I think this might be a power move aspect. Look, Cam for me doesn't give me assertive vibes in relation to Emily. I want to make it very clear, because every man can be assertive. It's just relational. Cam doesn't give me relational vibes when it comes to him and Emily. It doesn't feel like he's the one that's going to assert himself in the relationship between himself and her. And the reason why I said it, like I said earlier on, is because there were certain instances where she kind of was leading the charge. Now, why does she go for younger guys? Maybe because it's a power move aspect where the guy who's younger won't be able to, not even able to, the younger guy will give her the power in the relationship to kind of lead it going forward. Maybe. I'm not saying that's the 100% truth, but if she admits herself that she's a cougar, what more are we to deduce from that, right? Because why are you cougaring? A girl like Emily, fantastic, good-looking girl. Let's keep it 100% real. Not my type, but she's a very good-looking girl, and I can appreciate that. Why is she going after younger guys? She could get guys her age or older. So why is she going for younger guys? There's something in that. There's a power dynamic in that is, important. I think when she's saying about being a cougar, especially at her age, 26, and you're a cougar? Darling, come on. There's a whole heap of life to go with you, okay? And so it's interesting because I definitely think she found him attractive straight away. I mean, her first sentiments when she saw him come in were positive vibes. Listen to this.
Close your mouth, Melinda, before you start drooling again.
Yeah, bro, you good?
Nathan.
Nice to meet you,
Yeah,
bro.
I'll bring some over to you. Yeah.
Way to play it cool, Emily.
She was straight over there like a shot. So first and foremost, before she knew his age, she actually liked him and found him attractive. So that's why I said I really like the interaction, because I think before even the age thing, and maybe she said the cougar thing to make him feel comfortable about pursuing someone who's older. Do you know what I mean? But definitely there was an immediate attraction. My girl picked up the champagne, okay, the bubbly, the buck fizz, whatever it was, and said, yeah, let me walk over there. All right, she made a move, and that for me is also interesting because that's about who has that more assertive energy in between both people, right? I often talk about masculine and feminine energy and how the masculine oftentimes is about executing, it's about driving, you know. And in this particular situation, I think we're going to see more of Emily driving Cam places, and so Cam, well, if she's happy for that to happen, then fantastic, the relationship can work. If he then suddenly realizes, I don't like the fact she's driving a lot of the stuff, he's going to find an issue here. And like I said, when sex is off the table, you can't ignore these things. When sex is off the table, you can't ignore these things. Is she choosing him because she knows she can control him? We don't know, because obviously the first glance was she's definitely attracted to him, right? But interesting enough as well, what I want to talk about him is his own personal introduction as well, because I think that's what really took me, and I said, I know where this guy's coming from. He's a good-looking guy who's got a glow up, who's come into his own, and has, you know, like he's kind of been a bit of the nerd before. Maybe not maybe not, I don't want to say ugly duckling, but it's the ugly duckling to the good looking person glow up kind of situation. Those people normally have a good personality, because the first thing I noted about Cam was I liked his energy. I liked his personality. I liked the way he spoke. I liked that he had a little bit of a nerdy side in terms of the Star Wars situation. I said, I like that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think that's cool. Bit of a goofy side to him. I said, yeah. Brother's got a bit of a personality, not just, you know, I'm the good looking guy, and yeah, like I like that, right? And so the fact that Emily obviously was drawn to him, that's fine, that's the outer shell, but it's the way he described himself. Let's have a little bit of listen.
They just happen to all be very sexy. I didn't used to have the confidence. I had a glow up, so I just started dressing differently, training a lot more, my hair.
Now you hear what he said? I didn't used to have the confidence. Okay, I had to glow up. I started training more. I started doing my hair, everything like that. That all came to play. But guess what? When people don't have that, when people have that glow up later, oftentimes, you know, they're not the most good-looking person at the beginning. They have to grow their confidence as they're maturing, as they're looking better, right? And what happens is, as they do that, as they grow in their personality, okay, it's so interesting because now they're not so arrogant or, you know, unhumble, you know what I mean? But here now, has he developed the assertive energy? Has he developed that masculine energy in the assertion? We need to know. We need to see that. And that's going to be proven and tested with Emily, because Emily's going to be direct. Oh, I can tell she's going to be direct because of the way she moved to him, the way she was excited by him, the way she led certain proceedings. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting to see them too. You know, they've really got a great sexual energy as well. I saw them having a little, you know, it was only Cam and Emily, as well as Nathan and Carly, that were doing the whole stripper challenge where they were touching each other. So they've already got comfortable in themselves in terms of how they move with one another, right? They're already, that's what I said about the smitten thing. And I was like, who'd win this war? Is it going to be Cam? Is it going to be Emily? Because sometimes the good guy who's been a nerd before can be the one that comes with the, you know, the defying, definitive, deathly blow. Or will Emily get in there first? That's going to be the interesting thing. Let's look at this.
Come onto your chest.
One little sign of competition, and the stripper card gets played straight away.
Now,
so you see how comfortable Emily and Cam are. She's touching his body. She doesn't feel no way. You know, she's excited by that. Like, she likes that, you know. She hasn't got a problem with that. She's they've really gone to that place where they can be cool with one another, and that shows again that they're on the same wavelength, at least in the area of chemistry. Okay, and there's another thing as well, guys, don't confuse chemistry. Like, you know, sometimes we get along with a lot of people. Doesn't mean you have to actually wife them, doesn't mean you have to actually make them your husband. Okay, but let's watch this little part here. I want to just get to this part. This is where he admits, okay, this is where he admits that he focuses on one person, and this is where it could be his downfall. Now I know he makes a little concession that, you know, I'll end up, you know, if she doesn't want me, I'll end up dating another person. I hear that, but he already admitted that, you know what, he focuses on one person. He may get lost. I'm not saying he is. He may do. Let's listen to a little bit of what he says.
Yeah, it's sort of. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, but my thing is when I have attention on someone, I don't really think about anyone else.
So he admits to us and says, obviously, look, when I have when I get involved with people, I focus on one person. I focus on, I get drawn into that person and their energy, and that's understandable. You know, not everyone can do this whole dating many people, dating different people. Sometimes some people just can only do, you know, one person at a time, and that's fine. You just need to know yourself. Once you know yourself, you can then go, okay, do you know what? I know I get locked in real early. Hey, let me just hold back a little bit. You know, let me just take a step and let me just kind of chill a little bit and see where I go on, so that I can, you know, not jump in too quickly and not get lost too quickly and make my mistakes that I could make if this girl doesn't really want me the way I want her, right? And so it's interesting because I love their chemistry, like I said, and I love their bands and stuff. It was interesting here, I think, because where the kiss situation, how it comes about, she's actually leading the kind of conversation. Listen to this.
At some point.
At some point, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You back yourself that much?
I back myself. It depends if you're a good kisser, don't it? Depends if you're a good kisser.
I actually missed the first part of it, but we don't want copyright for you. So the before it gets to that stage, she actually opens up proceedings of the conversation by saying, "Do you think you're gonna get a kiss?" And I like the interactions, the little flirtation thing. Do you think you're gonna get a kiss from me? She's already well versed in flirting, number one. Number two, what it also said, again, it showed to me a little bit of she's willing to lead. Normally women try to be a bit more subtle and have a little bit of a mystery and let the man kind of lead those discussions, even though they want to. So they try to give the hints and the dating signals. But she's gone right past that and gone into a situation where, you know, she's let him know straight away what it is, you know, and that she's got a level of directness, okay, and a little bit of masculine energy when you do that. That is a masculine energy to do that when you're being that direct. There is, yeah, because the feminine art oftentimes is about the elusiveness and the subtleties of this as well. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. When I say masculine energy, just like when I said about being aggressive, doesn't mean the person's a man. It's just talking about the energies that we utilize at different points in time. But let's just watch this little clip here. I'll bring it. So you can kind of watch it. Here you go.
Watch.
Do you reckon you're going to get a snog out of me? At some point.
At some point, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You back yourself that much?
So she kind of led that proceeding there. And which is, again, really interesting because, like I said, you know, she leads those kind of conversations. And it may be because, like I said, she goes for the cougar situation and she likes to be in control of those dynamics. It may be. I'm not saying for definite. We haven't watched episode 2 yet, but this is an angle that we look at when we're talking about dating and talking about certain things. Let's watch the last bit.
Emily's doing some bits, like she's ticking some boxes, and I think we're all gonna have to get very comfortable with each other's bedroom activities because we are literally bed.
Sorry about that. And just he said, obviously, talking about the bed situation. I'll go back a little bit in a second or two. She actually mentions and says, obviously, he gets into the bed and then she obviously lets him know, oh, are you going to be sleeping in the bed tonight, right? Again, she's the one proceeding with asking the question. You know what I mean? It's so important that she's the one that's proceeding to lead the question. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so interesting that she leads those things. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the other episodes. It reminds me of Francesca and it reminds me of, oh boy, I can't remember his name, right? But it reminds me of them so much. I hope, for the love of Cam, he don't get done dirty like old boy did with Francesca, okay? Let's just watch that little last bit. We'll watch that little last bit so you can get a little hint of this.
Temperature-wise, yes. Sex-wise, nuh-uh.
That's a nice bed. I quite like this bed.
Do you like this one?
Yeah, that's a good bed, this one, isn't it? Yeah, happy with this bed.
Are we sharing beds then?
Sure, that's it. Of course we are.
So she's the one that lets him know again, are we sharing beds once more? He then agrees to her demands in that regret. Not that it was even demanding, but it's just she's the one again initiating that conversation. Same way with a kiss as well, right? So I'm mentally noting it because in future it may be a case where now she's leading other situations. We've got to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? We've got to pay attention to that. Anyway, listen, guys, that's my little additions of this particular episode of Too Hot to Handle. We'll next do Nathan and Carly, and then we'll jump on to episode 2. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded and stay hydrated.